All right, everybody, thank you for coming this morning. First student of the month for the 2015-16 school year. All right, we got a great crop for the month of October and one from September. So I'm Mr. Conti. All right, just wanted to thank again the parents for coming, all the teachers, the administrators, the ladies for food services for supplying the breakfast, and also Miss Hain. Somewhere there she is over there. All right, she basically runs this whole show. All right, I just do the talking, but honestly, it's all from her. So. Just a quick explanation of how we get here. Every month, Ms. Hain, after like the second week, sends out an email to the entire staff. The staff comes back with nominations for Student of the Month. The coaches also get them for the Athletes of the Month. Then those nominations are taken to a Student of the Month committee that we have here, where they vote on the characteristics of the student, grades, the little blurb from the nominating teacher and whatnot, and then they come together on a consensus for one per grade. All right, so the athletes, Mr. Kloss will talk more about that later, but basically kind of the same deal goes out to the coaches. We look at the grades on the field, school spirit, things like that. So we look for students that kind of encompass and all around embody what we're looking for at Interboro, rather. The way it'll work is students that nominated, or the teachers that nominated the students will come up, they'll talk on their behalf, and then we'll kind of go from there. So real quick, for our freshman class, we have, and you stay seated right now, come up when the teachers call you, but Jess Klaudanowski, if I got that right, okay, great girl. For the sophomore class, we have Rachel Suga, right, nominated by Ms. Danf and Mr. Stabilo. Jess was nominated by Ms. Baumhoff. Joseph Pitts is our junior class for October. He was nominated by Mr. Meck. And our senior, Mr. Frommel back there, our Billy Frommel, nominated by Mr. Ryder. Our student athletes, okay, we do one male and one female. We have Stephanie McCool, all right, for field hockey, and Brian Schwartz for soccer. So their coaches will come up and talk on their behalf. So first, we'll bring up Jess, and Ms. Baumhoff will talk about Jess as the freshman student of the month winner. Jess? I'll grab it for you.
Come up. Yes, you have to come up and stand.
Come on up, Jess.
You don't want to come up and stand? Oh, that's all right. You have to. There you go. All right, we got a picture? Hold on, I'll take my glasses off. Thank you. All right, good morning, all. I nominated Jessica. Forgive me, I'm sorry. I have to read. I nominated Jessica because early on she stood out as an exceptional student. She always greets me upon entering the room. She's engaging and participates. Yes, you are. Has good attendance and high grades, and is involved in school activities. And you have to be pretty confident to play football, and I felt that you always present yourself as a well-rounded, awesome student, and you were worthy of this recognition. So, round of applause for Jessica. So, okay? Thank you very much. Awesome job. Keep it up. Sorry? You can sit down now.
Thanks, Ms. Baumhoff. Our sophomore is Rachel Suga. Rachel, if you want to come up, please. Rachel was nominated by Ms. Damp, who's not here today, and Mr. Stabilo. So Mr. Stabilo will talk for Rachel.
Thank you. Yep. Don't be too nervous. I speak all day in front of kids, and I'm nervous right now. So, as Mr. Conti said, Rachel was nominated by two teachers. Me and Ms. Damp spoke, so we're on the same lines of why we nominated her. Overall, she's a great student. She's studious, respectful, personable, helpful, and courageous. As studious, she gets all-around good grades, so that's awesome. Respectful, she always addresses you with respect as a teacher, and anyone else in authority as administrators. She's, even though she's nervous right now, she's very personal. She's friendly with her classmates. She's friendly with the teachers. She's able to laugh at herself when she has a brain fart, which we all do. I mean, even adults have that. So she's very helpful. She's willing to help anyone in class, and she's gone one step beyond that. Erdogan runs a German exchange program, and she's got a student that she's mirroring. So the student's mirroring her, so there's another example of how she's helpful with others. As far as courageous, at the end of last year, I had the luxury of teaching her Spanish 1, and I have her in class again for Spanish 2. At the end of last year, she shared her opinion about me about a class matter, and she did it, as always, respectfully. She wrote a nice little note to me. I saved that message, hoping I would get her again in class, and I did. So the first day, I said, "Hey, Rach, remember this?" You know. So it just goes to her character. You know, she's willing to speak her mind if she has to, and she does it respectfully. So Rach, keep doing what you're doing. Congratulations, and See you in class in a few minutes.
Thanks, Mr. Stabilo. Our junior class winner, Joseph Pitts. Mr. Meck will come up too. Talk about Joe.
This is unbelievable. He was supposed to dress up as a minion, and I was going to be Gru, but obviously he left me out to dry here. This is unreal. What's not to say about Joey? I first got to meet Joey last year as a soccer player while I served as the school's athletic director, and right away, you couldn't meet a better kid. And then this year, I was fortunate enough to have him in APUS history. For those of you who don't know, I teach 2 sections of it, serving about 66 students, the best and brightest in the junior class. And from that great group, I nominated about 5 students to be the junior class student of the month. Joey not only stands out among them, I think he stands out among the student body. I mean, he's a kid that day in and day out, there's not a challenge that I present that he doesn't take on or try to take it to the next level. I remember Ms. Hain and Mr. Conti telling me when he found out that he won Student of the Month, he was mad that he was going to miss my second period AP class, and he didn't really want to go to the ceremony. And it just speaks to the kind of conscientious student that Joey is. Currently, he's carrying a 98.2 average in my class, which is by far the highest average in the class. He participates on a daily basis, usually saying things that are more insightful than I even have to say. I find myself quite often learning from him, hopefully just as much as he learns from me. He's the best and brightest we have around here, and he really embodies what we want in students and student athletes. Joey Pitts.
And finally, for October, our senior winner is Billy Frommel. Bill, if you come up real quick, Mr. Ryder. And real quick, too, our senior winners also automatically go to the Rotary dinner that's held every month. So, Bill, a couple weeks from now, we'll go over to Trieste. All right, he gets a dinner. You get $50 cash. They recognize him. There's other districts there, too. Amber will get to in a second, one for September. So it's a good night. Went the one time at Chicken Parm. It was delicious, right? So I hope we go on Mr. Ryder there in a couple weeks. Just another part for the seniors. Mr. Ryder.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Rob Ryder, and I've been teaching at the district for about 21 years now. And, I've had a lot of students come through my classroom, special education department. Billy was one of the ones that came through my class as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old freshman. And I guess the reason I volunteered and recommended him for this award was the transformation in his character and his personality. And when we look at young adults coming into our school, we're always hopeful and we have visions for their future and their success. And I can honestly sit here and tell you this morning that Bill is one of those young men. And his attitude, his drive, his motivation, his desire for success is what's brought him here today. His desire, his future hopes and dreams rest in Williamson Trade School. So we've all supported him in this attempt to get into the school. We hope that he's successful there. I know that he'll represent that school well. He's mature, he's smart, he's taken his education seriously. And so I stand here before you and thank you for being the student that we all of us teachers hope to have the opportunity to teach. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Ryder. And as I said, so we did have a senior winner, too, for September Student of the Month to go to the Rotary dinner for September, and that was Amber Hurdell. She was nominated by Mr. Donovan. If you guys come up real quick, please, and recognize Amber.
Thank you, Mr. Conti. This is Amber Hurdell, and if you don't know her, you'll probably see her again in the future, probably on television, running some humanitarian organization that helps people in the third world, because that's the kind of person Amber is. Amber embodies, as Mr. Conti said, all the qualities that we here at Interboro value. She is helpful, she is friendly, she is kind, she is courteous, and she's extremely tall, which is great because she plays 2 sports. She plays volleyball in the fall and basketball in the winter. And, I'm sorry, a third sport. She also plays softball. And so she's one of our outstanding student athletes in addition to being an outstanding student. And as Mr. Stablo mentioned, I do run the German exchange program as the German teacher, and she is hosting one of our 13 students from Germany. She's not here with us this morning because, as Mr. Stablo mentioned, the Germans are shadowing a different student today. But she's done an excellent job. Her student guest from Germany has said many nice things about her and her family, and she's going to graduate in June, and I will miss her very much. But she will be a great asset to whatever college she decides upon. She has already applied and been accepted to several. And let's give Amber a big round of applause.
Thanks, Mr. Donovan. And before Mr. Claus comes up and introduces the athletes, I just want to say, too, about the students you see today. It's our first of the year, and we have like tens of nominations that come in. So not only, are they beating out, if you will, their grade, but also the tens of other students nominated. And I think it just speaks volumes about the students that you see in front of you today. I mean, they're just exactly what we're looking for here at Interboro. So with that said, Mr. Claus will come up and talk about Brian and Stephanie for our Athletes of the Month.
As you can see, even with the Students of the Month, there are a number of great athletes here at Interboro, and all of our athletes are ambassadors of this school. When they put on that uniform, they not only represent themselves, but they represent everyone else. The two people that we're honoring today do an excellent job, not just athletically, but they also do a great job academically and socially to represent the school as ambassadors of the entire school district. The first person I'm going to bring up today is going to be Steph McCool, our Female Athlete of the Month. She did an excellent job, and I can't do anything justice, so Coach Faison, if you could come up and speak on her behalf. Thank you.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to introduce Steph McCool as our Student Athlete of the Month. Steph is a player that I never had to worry about whether she was going to show up on the field or not. She was there 100%, mentally and physically. She is one of our backbones of our defense and offense. The last few games, she decided on herself to be a cherry picker, which paid off. And she is probably, I was just saying I haven't gone through all our stats yet, but I do believe she will be the leading scorer as a midfield. I will miss her. She always has a smile on her face, always. Miss her parents. They always sat across the field in their fold-out chairs and supported her just about every game. And it's a pleasure, absolute pleasure, to have coached Steph for these past 4 years. And luckily, I'll have her for lacrosse. And then that's when I'll probably get a little bit emotional because she's such a good player. And she's also a young lady after my own heart. She's going to be a hairstylist when she graduates. And my second daughter is a hairstylist. So we have something in common there. But I will miss her. She's a great player. I'm trying to talk her into playing club hockey after she graduates because I know she'll miss it. She's just an excellent athlete and an excellent student, and she is a credit to her school. Thank you.
Our Male Athlete of the Month will be represented by Coach Distilio. He's a member of our boys soccer team. Brian Schwartz, if you could come up, Coach, and speak on his behalf.
All right, I'm very proud to be here. Just like all the other kids before, I can't say enough about Brian. This group I had was by far the best group I've had. It was a very tough decision to make in terms of picking the student athlete of the month, but Brian definitely deserved it. Brian shows up to practice every day with the same attitude. It just rubbed off on all the other kids throughout the year. And, just the attitude and motivation that he would show in practice and in games. He scored 3 goals in our season this year, had a few assists. Just a testament to his hard work and dedication throughout the year. Didn't have the ability to have him on varsity the last 3 years, so being able to work with him this year on varsity was just a pleasure and a treat. And he definitely embodies everything that, coming from Interboro myself, would have wished that I was able to play with him as a player, in being able to coach him makes up for it. So, Brian, great job. Thank you.
All right, everyone, one more time, just a round of applause for everyone today. Do a great job of representing Interboro. Before we end today and get back to the food, again, a round of applause for our cafeteria workers and especially Mrs. Hain for supplying everything and coordinating all of this. So everyone, just a round of applause for Ms. Hain and cafeteria workers and everyone else for attending. All right, everyone, well, thank you for attending, and thank you to all of you for doing such a great job of representing us so well. Thank you.